Today I'm going to show you how to make this easy breezy and delicious shrimp taco with a fresh mango salsa. It is like a little taco of heaven sent from taco above. Okay, let's get started. I'm making a sweet, zingy, and spicy mango salsa for these shrimp tacos, and it's so easy. First off, we're going to take a big, nice ripe mango and dice it up. Cutting a mango on camera is one of my nightmares because I don't have my mom's skills. She can just go and take it out and like, oh, it's so easy. And my version always looks a bit messier. So I'll be scoring this with my knife because I don't want to score my fingers. And then score it again, the other direction. You can use a spoon. Just get those nice cubes into a bowl. Don't do this in your palm, or bad things could happen to your hand. I like this knife because it's really sharp, but the edge isn't pointy, so I can score without obliterating the skin of my nice mango. Use a nice spoon to extricate those little pieces. You can do it in 2 swipes, so they're not rectilinear prisms, but cubes. You can use more or less if you want things sweeter or spicier or zingier. It's really up to you. I'm just giving you a general guideline, and of course I will write up a recipe, but think of it more as a suggestion. All right, now I'm gonna take 2 jalapenos, and I will be taking out that little bit of pith in the middle along with the seeds. These are pretty hot jalapenos. I can already feel it when it comes close to my nose. It's like very strong. Sometimes you get duds and they're just like green nothing, but these are strong. Okay, so now we're gonna give these kind of almost a mince. Be careful not to mince your finger though. I came close. And do the skin side up because the skin can be kind of tricky, and if your knife isn't really sharp, you're just gonna be scoring the flesh of the jalapeno, but that skin will just be hanging out unperturbed and you'll be annoyed. Into your bowl. Now I have 3 small tomatoes. I might use 2. So let's cut them in half. And remove that kind of harder stem bit. I've been using heirloom tomatoes because it's summertime right now and they are plentiful and delicious. These are like Roma, so it's a different story, but the heirloom tomatoes are so tasty and tender. They become really ripe. The trade-off is that this stem on heirloom tomatoes is woody. It's hard to cut into. You don't want to eat it. Now let's give this a dice. Whenever I cut tomatoes, I think of those commercials from the 80s for Ginsu knives, where they're like slicing a tomato into paper-thin pieces. Like, look how sharp this knife is. Our knives growing up were not that sharp. I'm giving these like a rough dice. You don't have to be really precise with this cutting. It's not like a French julienne technique or anything. It's a nice salsa. It's gonna be rustic. That was really just 1 tomato. I'm gonna add 1 more half in. The lime is gonna give you that acidity that you need to counteract just the sweetness of the mango. It'll brighten things up too. And I love lemon and lime in everything. So I like to go generous. Look how gorgeous this is already. I am excited. Giving this a little pinch of salt. And now it's time for a taste test. Oh my God, that's good. I'm glad I went with 1 jalapeno because that is spicy. Oh my gosh. It tastes really good though, and that brings us to our next component, which is gonna be a zingy sour cream, and that's gonna help us cool things down, and also, you know, it'll be a nice balance. But you could totally go to your local market and get a traditional Mexican crema, which is, I don't know, it tastes like liquidy sour cream to me, so that's what I'm gonna make. But it's more traditional, I guess. Anyways, let's take maybe like 2 tablespoons of cream. Let's make it 3, it's a party. And then we're just gonna add in a bit of lime juice. I will give it a whisk. Nice. Just gonna add a bit more lime juice in there. If you don't want this much acidity, go ahead and add just some milk. It'll be totally fine. All you have to do is thin it out a bit so it's kind of more of a drippy consistency. Little taste. Nice. All right. I love a nice deep fried taco like my mom would make, as she's from Mexico, so she has things the traditional way when she goes the taco route. But these are soft tacos, so that crunch is gonna come from a beautiful purple cabbage. I want these tacos to have like a nice play for the eyes as well. So purple for the cabbage, a beautiful rich saffron from the mango, the red from the tomatoes, the green from the cilantro and the jalapenos, and of course the white for a nice bit of crispness visually from the sour cream. I'm gonna give these a really thin slice because one, I'll be photographing them and I want them to look nice and delicate, but two, I don't want these giant pieces because these tacos are actually pretty small. Look at these gorgeous Key West shrimp. They're so pretty and pink, and I haven't even cooked them yet. I will be deshelling them and deveining them. Deveining is really important, and all you're doing is opening up that exoskeleton. You can use scissors or a knife. All right, and then as they are bottom dwellers, they have been eating, various and sundry things from the ocean floor. So what you want to do is just remove their digestive tract. Maybe some egg sacs, whatever else. It's just better safe than sorry. I used to find this really upsetting when I was a child. My mom would always make shrimp things and this part bothered me, but as I've gotten older, I'm totally fine with it, especially compared to I don't know, having a whole chicken. That still bothers me, I'm gonna admit it. When I'm cleaning shrimp, I will often leave the tail on because it's like a little handle. So if you're having it with some pasta or even in a salad, and I'm at home and not in public, I'll just go, yum, yum, eat them like that. But because this is going in a taco, this time I will remove the tail and just give it a snap, and it comes right off. My husband refuses to eat any shellfish unless it's like shrimp that's been quadruple fried and in sauce. So I've been taking any excuse I can to film shrimp dishes and lobster dishes because I get to have them for a snack after they're photographed, and I don't get any complaints from my better half. These shrimp are so fresh. In case you didn't know, because you don't eat them often, when you're touching a shrimp, if it is really sticky or feels kind of jelly, not fresh. I don't want to eat that. But if you're touching it and just feels like, kind of watery or a little bit wet, that's nice. Nice fresh shrimp. It also shouldn't stink, just by the by. And if you're buying frozen shrimp, don't buy frozen cooked shrimp because the key to a non-chewy and delicious shrimp is not overcooking it. So you're really just searing it on either side, and the inside can almost be it's seared, so it's not cooked all the way through. That'll be delicious. But if you're buying industrially processed cooked boiled shrimp, it's gonna be a bit chewier, and I just wouldn't recommend it. My shrimp are all cleaned, so now I'm going to pat them dry just with a paper towel, place them in my bowl, and I'm gonna make a marinade for them. Shrimp are like little tiny sponges, so you can do whatever you want to them. I'm gonna be adding in some lime, some garlic, a little chili powder, and of course some oil to help, kind of be a medium for things. I have 2 garlic cloves. I'm gonna give them a good smash with my knife and then mince them up because we're gonna add them into our shrimp. Several dashes of chili powder for flavor. Squeeze of lime juice. I'm gonna zest a lime too. I want all that flavor. Love the color too. Do a splash of olive oil. This is my backup supply of olive oil because I forget to buy it every single day. And I'm also gonna give it a couple dashes of coriander. Right now, give it a nice toss. This smells divine. I'm gonna cover it up and refrigerate for 15 minutes just to let it marinate and absorb those flavors. I almost forgot a little pinch of salt. What was I thinking? Nobody saw that, it's okay. We're of course gonna have a little bit of avocado for some extra creaminess in our tacos, and this is the moment of truth. I got these at the farmer's market, and it's either the best day or not the best day when you cut into an avocado and it's perfect or overripe. Amazing, I don't even mind the giant pit. So normally I would just kind of like use a spoon to scoop out that avocado flesh, but because I'm filming this and it'll be photographed and it'll be on Instagram, I want it to look kind of pretty, so I'm somewhat more delicately removing the skin. Now we'll give this a nice slice. Thin pieces. This is so creamy. Once that pan's nice and hot, you're gonna add the shrimp on and really just sear them on either side until they get some color. You don't wanna overcook your shrimp. So after a couple minutes, you'll notice the shrimp are beginning to turn color, nice and pink. Time to give them a flip, sear the other side, and once they're done, just transfer them to a plate and let them cool off while you're doing the rest of the taco. Keep that burner on, and now it's time to heat up some tortillas the old-fashioned way on an open flame. If you don't have one, go ahead and use your skillet. For the assembly, you're gonna add your purple cabbage on, those wonderful creamy slices of fresh avocado, about 3 shrimp per taco, and then a couple spoonfuls of that mango salsa, a nice drizzle of the sour cream, and a sprinkling of cilantro, my favorite. Okay, moment of truth. I actually know this will be amazingly delicious because I've been nibbling all throughout this video, but just for you, I will take that taste. I make these sacrifices. Oh my gosh, there was a lot going on in that bite. Let me unpack it for you. The mangoes are so sweet and just delicious. Contrasting with that spicy jalapeno and that zesty lime, the cabbage, so much crunch. It really adds a ton to this because otherwise you wouldn't have, it'd be like too mushy. You don't want that. You want a crunch in your bite. Shrimp, marinade, so easy, you must make it. Even if you're gonna do like a spicy shrimp like cioppino or a pasta, use that marinade and you will be thanking me. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.